pieces in red bean drinks. This ice was wild ice that defied streets and buildings. "We are so lucky that a spot in one of Mr. N's buildings opened up," Aunt Paula had said as we drove to our new neighborhood. "You will have to fix it up, of course, but real estate in New York is so expensive. This is very cheap for what you're getting." I could hardly sit still in the car and kept twisting my head, looking for skyscrapers. I didn't find any. I longed to see the New York I had heard about in school. Manhattan, glistening department stores, and most of all, the Liberty Goddess, standing proud in New York Harbor. As we drove, the highways turned into impossibly broad avenues, stretching out into the distance. The buildings became dirtier, with broken windows and English writing spray-painted over the walls. We made a few more turns, passing people who were waiting in a long line despite the early hour, and then Uncle Bob parked next to a 3-story building with a boarded-up storefront. I thought he was stopping to make a pickup of some sort, but then everyone had gotten out of the car onto the icy pavement. The people in line were waiting to go into the doorway to our right, with a sign that said, "Department of Social Services." I wasn't sure what that was. Almost everyone was black. I'd never seen black people before, and a woman near the front, whom I could observe most clearly, had skin as dark as coal and gold beads gleaming in her cloud-like hair. Despite the frayed coat she wore, she was breathtaking. Some people were dressed in regular clothes, but some looked exhausted and unkempt, with glazed eyes and unwashed hair. "Don't stare," Aunt Paula hissed at me. "You might attract their attention." I turned around, and the adults had already unloaded our few possessions, which were now piled by the boarded-up storefront. We had 3 tweed suitcases, Ma's violin case, a few bulky packages wrapped in brown paper, and a broom. There was a large wet spot at the bottom of the front door. "What is that, Ma?" She bent close and peered at it. "Don't touch that," Uncle Bob said from behind us. "It's pee." We both sprang backward. Aunt Paula laid a gloved hand on our shoulders. "Don't worry," she said, although I didn't find her expression reassuring. She looked uncomfortable and a bit embarrassed. "The people in your apartment moved out recently, so I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. But remember, if there are any problems, we will fix them, together, because we are family." Ma sighed and put her hand on top of Aunt Paula's. "Good. And I have a surprise for you. Here." Aunt Paula went to the car and took out a cardboard box with a few items in it. A digital radio alarm clock, a few sheets, and a small black and white television. "Thank you," Ma said. No, Aunt Paula replied. "Now we have to go. We are already late for the factory." I heard them drive away, and Ma struggled with the keys in front of the looming door. When she finally cracked the door open, the weight of it seemed to resist her until finally it gaped wide to reveal a bare light bulb glowing like a tooth in its black mouth. The air smelled dank and filled with dust. "Ma," I whispered, "is it safe?" "Aunt Paula wouldn't send us anywhere unsafe," she said, but her low voice was laced with a thread of doubt. Although Ma's Cantonese was usually very clear, the sound of her country roots grew more pronounced when she was nervous. "Give me the broom." While I brought our things inside the narrow entryway, Ma started up the stairs first, wielding the broom. "Stay here and keep the door open," she said. I knew that was so I could run for help. My pulse pounded in my throat as I watched her climb the wooden stairs. They had been worn by years of use, and each step warped, slanting sharply downward to the banister. I worried that a step would give way and Ma would fall through. When she turned the corner on the landing, I lost sight of her, and I could only hear the stairs creaking one by one. I scanned our luggage to see if there was anything I could use as a weapon. I would scream and then run upstairs to help her. Images of the tough kids at my old school in Hong Kong flashed through my mind. Fat Boy Wong and Tall Guy Lam. Why wasn't I big like them? There was some scuffling upstairs.